Hi, I'm Michelle Fox with Mary Kay, and I have started a series of very basic training for my team and thought that there may be others in the Mary Kay world that would enjoy learning as well. So please join us for this series. Today we're talking about how to get new customers, how to obtain leads, different ways that I did it when I started out 21 years ago. And I hope that you find something that you can really grab hold of and do yourself. And I would love it if you would comment which one you chose to do and then come back and let us know how it went. Please remember to like this video, hit the subscribe button so that I can build this group. When I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to have a wonderful giveaway, and you definitely want to be part of that. So stay tuned. Okay, girls, I am really excited about this because one thing that I love to do is teach. And fair warning, I am more of a teacher preacher than I am a pastor encourager. So sometimes I can come off like I'm, using my mom voice, but it's more that I believe you can do this, and I want you to hear what I'm saying and understand that if I can do it, and if millions of consultants have done it, that you absolutely can do this. So, hugs and kisses and all that in advance. Know that I love you. It's all said in love. But what we need to talk about is, how do you get customers? How do you add to your customer base? How do you even get started with the customer base? And I've probably told every one of you at some point that my current customer base is hardly, okay, let's see. If I had to do a percentage, I would say less than 10% of my current customer base are friends and family. So in other words, more than 90% of the people that are my regular customers, my best customers, I did not know when I became a consultant, okay? I think there's a misconception that you're going to come in and you're going to sell to friends and family, and that's going to be enough to sustain a business. But if you opened a boutique, if you open an ice cream shop, if you open just about any other store, there's no way that just your local friends and family would be enough to keep that going, right? And it's not as hard as you think. And typically the customers that you obtain take you more seriously because they think of you as a beauty professional. They don't know you as, from back in middle school and that kind of stuff. But let's start at the very beginning. And yes, when you're first starting out, you do rely on friends and family. And so the best thing to do, and if you've never done it, you can do it now, is to honestly just start creating a list of every woman in your life. Think of who you invited to your wedding. Think of, go and look at your Facebook friends. That's fine. But you literally want to think, don't limit yourself. Don't ask yourself, who do you think will be a great customer? Okay. No, just list all the women in your life. And when you hit a wall, let's see, I'm pretty sure that there is yeah. So like besides your friends and family, think about people from your old job, your school or college, people that you did sports with, people that you've done a hobby with, people from your kids' activities, from church, from the community, people that you used to rent from. Who sold your house to you? Who checks you out at the grocery store? Who helps you at the cleaners? Did you meet somebody on vacation? Have you worked or gone to a certain hotel regularly? Who gives your child lessons, cuts your hair, fills your prescriptions? Who leads the PTA? On and on and on. So I've got I guess kind of a workbook. I don't know. I've got like something that I give to new people, and probably maybe the last 4 or 5 new people got it. But if you're previous than that, you don't. But I'll post this. But it's just sort of a welcome to Mary Kay and a step-by-step, how to get started. And it gives you space to just start brainstorming that contact list. And the way I updated it a little bit. And so, I have you put the name and their a way to contact them if you know that off the top of your head. If you don't, we'll come back to it later, but the name. And then if you're friends on Facebook, yes or no, just Y or N. And then to put an asterisk on those that you're closest to. Okay. So that would be the first thing that you do. You're just brainstorming every female creature that you know, okay, past or present. And what I'm thinking for new people is that as you are looking at that list, obviously all of the people that know you're not Facebook friends with, you want a friend request, because that is one way to start building a relationship. And this is all about relationships. So that's something to think about. Look at the people that you've asterisked and see, are they primarily local people, or are they primarily people, that are spread out? Because if they are primarily local people, you've lived in the same town your whole life, and your mom and your aunts and your cousins and your kids and everybody lives here, then I would say probably the best way to get you off the ground would be to do a local in-person debut. And that is basically an open house, and I help you with that, and we can do that at any time. I mean, you don't have to be brand spanking new. We do an open house, we put some products on display, we have some mirrors and trays for people to sample, we have catalogs, we've got music and prizes and food and all that kind of fun stuff. And local people come and they have an opportunity to try the products, and our objective is to introduce you as a business person, and also to get them to either become a source of referrals, to book a party, to purchase something, but for sure to try the product. Okay. And that's another thing to keep in mind, is that unlike other products, like if we were selling jewelry or knives or Tupperware or something, you have the product out and either they buy it or they don't. But with Mary Kay, it's more about establishing the like, know, and trust factor. It's more about exposing them to the product, exposing them to the Mary Kay experience. Another thing to think about, this is sort of an aside, but people are more loyal to you, or at least as loyal to you, than they are the product. In other words, most of the reason why they purchase or continue to purchase is you. They love the product, but they love you. And if you can add into that they love the company, that really helps solidify things. When I first heard about Mary Kay, I loved Mary Kay Ash the Lady, and I loved the company. So as much as possible, get comfortable talking about the fact, that we give to charities through the Mary Kay Ash Charitable Foundation, that we are green, that our new facilities, are zero waste facilities, that we are, female led, and, that our whole purpose is to, break through the glass ceiling for women. Come up with the things that really stand out to you, that make you feel passionate about being part of Mary Kay, and convey that to the people as you present the Mary Kay experience. So they're experiencing the product, they're experiencing you, and they're experiencing the company. And all of that, really helps, like I said, solidify that relationship. Mary Kay statistically retains 80% of their customers. So when we have a party, statistically, 80% of the people that purchase at that party will become a reorder customer. Very, very few direct sales businesses can say the same. And I think that it's because not only, we have a fantastic product, but because it's such a relationship-oriented business. And I do think that there is a factor in there about, our history, about Mary Kay the Lady, and about, how much we love the company. So, that's just a little aside, something to think about. And if you're like, I don't even know anything about the company, then learn, okay? It's on your website, and it's on Mary Kay in Touch. It's in Applause magazine every single month. They've got a calendar with different milestones. So you want to get acquainted with that. Okay, so The very first way to start building your business is to come up with that brainstorm list of the goal is like 100 names, okay? And then take a good look at it and decide, okay, does it make more sense for me to focus on a local in-person debut? Or does it make more sense for me to do like an online party where, because I can help you with that as well. Then we can invite people either to an event or to a group, ideally to your VIP group on Facebook, and do a, like a debut that way. And it's the same idea. We're exposing them to the company, the products, to you as a professional. We give them the opportunity to try before they buy because we can mail samples, prizes, the whole shooting match, okay? And again, the objective is to book them as hostesses or to use them as a source of referrals. I think when you keep that in mind also, that you're not just asking for a sale, it makes you feel more confident and comfortable talking to your friends and family, because it's not like, if you think, oh, I already know that my sister can't afford it. Well, it's not about that, okay? You are asking her to support your business, and she can do that in many ways. She can pray for you. She can encourage you. She can like your posts, comment on your posts on Facebook. She can, mention you to other people. She can give you the names of people that she thinks might like what you have, to offer. She can book a party. She can hand out catalogs at her work. There are many, many ways for people to support you. And we do indeed begin with our friends and family. That's where we begin, okay? It's not where we end by any means. So we're starting there. Do your 100 name list. Talk to me. We'll decide if a debut is something that, would make sense for you. The next thing that I think really, really helps is when you challenge yourself to do the 30 faces in 30 days. Most of you have heard me refer to that. That is called a perfect start. Well, let me think. I think 15 faces is a perfect start and 30 faces is a power start, or vice versa. I don't remember. But the idea there is, and we've done this for years and years and years, that Mary Kay challenges you right out of the gate to get the product on 30 faces in your first 30 days, okay? It's not giving you a sales quota. It's not giving you a booking quota or anything like that. It's just get the product on people's faces. Why? Well, it's giving you practice. It's getting people some exposure to the product, seeing you as a professional. And most often, if they try it, they will buy it, truly. I mean, I think you know yourself from, that you fell in love with it enough to want to sell it. So how can you do that? Most of us came in during COVID. Many of you came in during COVID. So we've just been doing samples and, talking about online parties and that. And I could be wrong, but I'm feeling like that hasn't been tremendously successful. I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong. But I think that now that things are opening up, we really need to focus on getting face to face with people and getting the product on their face. You don't have to do parties to make that happen. Oftentimes, I would just meet just with one person. I was more comfortable. Maybe if it was the kind of person, like I've said before, there's certain people that they always do stuff with their sister. They always do stuff with their mom. If you know that about them, say, bring your mom. Then we call that a double facial. You just sit down with them, put the product on their face. And if you're like me and you need like a reason, you can just say that you have been challenged to facial 30 women in 30 days. You can do an opinion survey, which I talked about recently. And, there is actually a survey that you can print out that you say, we get together, you try the product, you answer these questions. And then, I give you a gift. And then your gift can be $10 off the set, $10 off the skincare set, and if they're kind of like, oh, I wasn't really planning on buying the skincare set, at least, you can give them the catalog and they're kind of flipping through there, and if you really can tell like that they are not going to get that set no matter what, you could say, or 20% off anything else, or, whatever, you feel it out. You don't want to give away the farm, okay? That's the thing. You don't want to start out, I'll give you half price, if you buy something from me. We don't want to seem desperate, and you need to make money. But it is okay to offer some kind of bonus or some kind of reward for people's time. And I usually say that too. Like, I respect your time. And so I would like to honor that by giving you blank, a mini oil-free eye makeup remover, or 10% off, or whatever, what have you. But think it through before you do it. If you have a car payment due and you are relying on the money from your Mary Kay, then that's not the week that you want to be offering discounts. Okay, give them a little freebie off your shelf, but don't offer a discount. All right, that's a little bit of wisdom from me to you. So the 30 faces in 30 days, is a great thing to do. Also, for me, having a reason, having something to talk about, really helps. So far we're still talking about people that we know, right? It's like, I'm not going to walk up to a stranger and say, hey, I need to do 30 faces in 30 days. At least not yet. Some people can do that right away. I couldn't, if you can, then go for it. But so we've got your 100 names, brainstorm 100 names. We'll talk about doing a debut either online or in person, like an open house type thing. Yes, no, whether you're going to do that or not. You can do the 30 faces in 30 days. Same idea, just kind of brainstorm, who can I ask? Your best friend is willing to do that for you. Hey, can I borrow your face? I'm in a challenge to do 30 faces in 30 days. I need to get with you, eyeball to eyeball. You try the product, you give me your opinion, and I'll give you blank for your time. Okay? Bring a friend and I'll double it. Whatever. So the 30 faces is a big thing. If you are not local to me, I would be more than happy to actually have Kelly do this. I'm not a director yet, so I don't have the same information that she does, but Kelly can find an adaptive director for you. So wherever you live, I promise you, there is a Mary Kay sales director within driving distance doing some kind of local training and or guest event. And that was something that I always brought someone to our training and guest events. When I was brand new, we always did, we did faces before the training. So you got there like at 6 and you did the facials, and then the training started at 6:30. So like just throughout my week, I would just be looking for opportunities to snag somebody. So I met somebody new at work, or there was somebody that I kind of knew, we sat and had coffee together, but I didn't really know her, I've never been to her house. But I would say, oh, you know what? I've got a business training that I go to on Monday nights, and I need to bring a guest, basically because I need to practice, would you be willing to do that for me? I'll give you blank for your time. So my point there is that we haven't done that yet because we couldn't because of COVID. We can now. So those of you that are out of town, now is the time to really think seriously about if you are ready and willing to start connecting with a local director. If you want to build the business, I say yes, you do. Okay, truly. You need the accountability. You need the training. You need the sisterhood. When you know local people that you can swap product with when you're in a pinch. You've got a place to bring guests. Like I said, if you all of a sudden think, wow, I think this person would actually want to sign up, it's so much easier to have that director talk to her with you all, face to face. I'm totally willing to do that, but it would have to be over the phone or through Zoom. You know what I mean? But having a person there that can do it with you is vastly better. So let me know that you want to do that, or let Kelly know, and we will we'll give you your options, find out what your options are. For those of you that are local, we're having this pizza party on the 12th, right, next Monday. And, we're just going to be having fun and stuff, but I am going to talk to you about the fact that I want to start having guest events. I'm doing it. Okay. So I'm going to have people at my house on the regular. I'm starting with the mask and margarita night. So let's see. I think I have that like 2 weeks after the pizza party. So like the 26th. So, if you are at a place where you want to, bring people and learn while you earn, or earn while you learn, or however you want to say it, then you want to jump on board, with me. I am willing to bring you in and let you, use my space and bring guests and learn and earn and all that good stuff. But here's the thing. This is big girl talk. Mary Kay, when you decide that, yes, you're going to be part of like a local training, it's not a club or a hobby or something that you drop by if you feel like it. It's a commitment. It's like as if you signed up like to do a course at a community college or something. When you say, yes, I'm in this, you really need to mean it, because it's not just about you. When you are part of a group that meets regularly, they are relying on you for your input and your energy and for your butt to fill a seat so that that room looks, like it's happening, hot and happening. And if everybody is, super like, oh, I don't feel like going tonight, I got a hangnail, oh, I got a sunburn. And, you've only got 10 people to start with, and 5 people, poop out. And then one person is legitimately sick. So now you got 6 gone. And, it's like, then it just falls apart. And that is not how Mary Kay does things. Okay. It is time to really see yourself as the professional that you are, and to understand that your word is your bond. And when you say, yes, I want to participate, I am committed to this, I will make every effort to bring guests, and I'm going to come every week unless I am really and truly sick or out of town. And I am going to bring energy, and I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to move up. That is what brings the life to a Mary Kay, meeting. I've been doing this a lot. That's what brings life to Mary Kay meeting, is when you get a group of women that come together and they're committed and they're like, you know what? I didn't feel like coming, but gosh darn it, I said I was going to come and I came. And they get there and they see each other and you start laughing and smiling and talking, and that energy comes back, and the yes, I can do this comes back. And we all need that. And some of us signed up specifically for that, for the sisterhood, for the training, for the self-development. Well, that doesn't just come magically. That comes because you are committed and you show up. So I want to provide that. But if I create that environment and nobody comes, it's not only discouraging, but it's a waste of my time. So like right now, what I'm doing is I am going to have guest events in my home. And if you want to join me, great. And if I see a committed group, then we can make it bigger, because I've already got a venue in mind. I mean, I've got some great ideas in mind, but I really need to know that there's a commitment for that. Okay. So you've got your 100 names, you've got your 30 faces in 30 days, bring guests to any kind of event, your local meetings, all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Now we're going to talk about talking to people, as you're out and about. And that, again, has not been a thing. Like, we haven't really been able to do that much. So Kelly calls them blessing bags. Kelly is our director, Kelly Vandermolen, for any of you that's brand new. You can have like a cello bag full of whatever samples you want in your business card, or a coupon or something like that. And, as you see someone, maybe they do something, a kindness to you, you can just reach in your purse and say, oh my gosh, that was so sweet. I've actually got something I'd like to give you. I'm a Mary Kay beauty consultant, and this is just a little something, whatever. That's nice. I actually do have that kind of thing. I've got little packets like with the mini lip glosses and a coupon. And occasionally, I'll want to just bless somebody and I'll give it to them. And the thing with that is that if you don't get their name and number, or if there's not a sense of like a reason for them to get back to you, you are basically just like giving that out and you probably aren't going to see a return. I mean, it's possible that they will try it and love it and call you and say, oh my gosh, I want to buy this. But most often, if you are just giving out samples and you're not getting their information or you're not following up with them, you're probably not going to hear back. But sometimes I don't mind that. You know what I mean? Sometimes I really just want to bless somebody and might as well use my product that I sell to do it, just in case they do want to, get it. So that's something to keep in mind. Some other things, you can have something on hand like a skincare survey where maybe you actually are engaging in a conversation with someone, like you're in a waiting room for a while and they find out that you're a Mary Kay consultant and you're like, you know what? I actually need to get 30 of these surveys filled out this month. It's just a super quick survey about skincare. Would you mind filling that out while we're sitting here? And I'll just, then I'll have one less to worry about. And it's just basically asking them, if they are using a skincare program, are they happy with it? What is their skin type? Have they ever tried Mary Kay? And then this is key. If I were to give you a free facial and makeover, would you give me your opinion of our products? Yes or no? If yes, would you prefer to have your facial alone or with one or two friends? And then they get to, circle if they're interested in skincare, glamour, or the career opportunity. So, that's just kind of a fun thing to have on hand in case that is something that appeals to you. And there are, tons of different kinds. You can Google Mary Kay skincare survey, and you'll see tons of them. I have made, I need to finish cutting these out. I made like coupons or like a gift card. And it's like $10 off a purchase. I use these in a variety of ways, but for me, I'm more shy. I have a hard time just walking up to somebody and just like, hey, I'm Michelle Fox with Mary Kay, and I'd love to offer you a complimentary facial. I'm sure I have done that, but I don't do it very often because I just find that a little bit awkward and kind of weird. I need to have like a reason. I need to have either something to give them, or I'm in a challenge, or, something to kind of, I don't know, to talk about. And so sometimes just having a thing, just having a thing in your hand can help. So you could go to like pinkprinting.com. That's one place. Glam Boss Graphics, I think, is another one. I'll look them up and I'll put the links on our page. But sometimes they just have just tools, and I think they're called like warm chatter tools that just kind of give you a reason. Like I say, you pull something out and you hand it to them, because as you're handing something to someone, of course, you've got their attention. They're looking to see what you're about to give them. And it just kind of facilitates, it starts the conversation for you, because it's not easy. It's not easy talking to strangers because our mommies told us not to. Right? Okay, so that's something. But now we're cooking with gas, okay? Because I'm going to get to the few that I used the most. So when I started out, I did my 30 faces in 30 days, and I decided to do it through parties. And I had I think I had 5 friends book parties, but I think only 3 or 4 actually held. But each party had 5 or 6 people. So, I eventually got there. And so I had this burst of activity, and it was so exciting. I sold product, and even though I had started out with a $600 wholesale order, I needed to order again because they needed even more stuff than what I had on my shelf. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be crazy successful. But then, everything quieted down because I had pretty much, talked to all my friends and family, the ones who were going to booked, the parties held, they were over. I wasn't very savvy, so I didn't really book from the booking. And then there was just kind of crickets, And so then I panicked. But Mary Kay came up with a contest where it was, or well, actually, they came out with time wise. And Kelly, our director, came up with a contest to see who could have the most people try time wise. And I was determined that I was going to have the most people try. So then that kind of is like similar to a 30 Faces in 30 Days, where it kind of gave me another reason, another, thing to talk to people about. So I, on like a Word document or something, I made a little something, like a little survey for them to fill out. And I remember just talking to the moms as I was dropping the kids off at kindergarten, pretty much anywhere, anytime anybody was standing close to me, I'd be like, oh, hey, by the way, and I think I had little packets. So that was a matter of, giving them a packet, telling them that I needed them to try it. I needed them to fill out that survey afterward. Therefore, I needed a way to get in touch with them, right? So I had to have like a follow-up time. And so that was the key, that then I could either, most of the time we got together to try the product. So anyway, you figure it out as you go along, like what works best for you. But the point is that you have a reason, to talk to them. So that came and went. Then when that was over, again, I was like, okay, well, now what? I wasn't very good at coming up with my own ideas. So enter the facial box. A facial box is when you see these all the time. They'll just be like a little box, usually like a homemade thing. It's like enter here for or drop your business card here for and so we can do that too. Mary Kay people can do that too. And I got to show you. Usually the tackier it is, the cheaper, the simpler, the more attention it gets, oddly enough. So like this one, this is like a vase, a plastic vase from the dollar store. This is just, something that I have got cardboard behind it. Entered to win a free microderm facial. Then I've got like the little entry forms, with curly ribbon. And you can keep it. Okay, I'll tell you 2 different ways. Okay, so these forms are super simple. Just name, phone, do you have a consultant? Yes or no. Okay, super, super simple. And so when I contact them, so basically everybody's a winner, right? Everybody wins. I call them and say that they, I drew their name, and we book a time to get together. It's important that you explain that it's a self-applied facial, because when people think of a facial, they think of going to a spa where they're laying down on a table and somebody's putting it on them. And we don't want them to be disappointed in any way, shape, or form, or to think that we are being deceptive. So I would probably even update that, because I use the expression self-applied quite a bit. But I got to show you this one. So I'm assuming that something pretty and fancy would get more attention. So I saw these at Pier 1, I think. It's like a lantern or something. But I loved how it was like that blush color. And so I made register here for personal beauty experience with Mary Kay plus a free gift certificate. And then I made like the little form that they fill out to match. And no one filled it out. Zero people. Whereas this one, would be full every time I would check it. Isn't that funny? So you really don't have to buy anything fancy. Go to the dollar store, find some kind of receptacle. And what I like to do, there are pros and cons to this, but I do like to ask a few questions, as you can see. But it depends on what I'm giving away or what I'm doing. But I usually have some kind of survey, just kind of zeroing in on, their age, have they ever tried it? That kind of stuff. And I've got samples of that I can show you, but places where you could leave that. So I think of where you do business regularly. I used to get my nails done, like acrylic nails. And for the most part, any place that I got my nails done, they are used to people asking to do stuff like that. And they're pretty cooperative. And if they know that you do business with them, they are usually very willing to let you, use their place. So I would say, hey, can I leave and I would have the box with me to show them what it looked like, how big it was. Can I leave this here like for, a week or two? I'll come back and check it and, get it out of your hair. And, I never had them say no. And when it's at a place like a nail salon, the benefit of that is that, people are just sitting there for a long time. So they'll see it from across the room. And eventually, they'll go over there and hopefully fill that out. I would have it just tons of leads in there. Now, when you get those names and numbers, if they say, yes, I have a Mary Kay consultant, they are not eligible. Okay. You don't follow up with them. Because I know a lot of Mary Kay people, then underneath that, I say, I ask for her name. And so like, let's say somebody filled it out and they're like, I want to get together for a facial. Yes, I'm willing to bring friends. I have a consultant. Her name is Kim Goosen. Then I would call Kim and say, Kim, I got so-and-so's name at the nail salon. She actually wants to get together with friends. I just thought I'd give you a heads up. Why don't you go ahead and book that? She's ecstatic. She's my best friend forever, because I just got her a booking. But we don't steal customers ever, ever. So I always have that question on there. Have you tried it? Who's your consultant? If they don't have a consultant, then they're fair game. Okay. And then what's cool about that is that you already know that they want to do it. They circle right on there whether they want to do a facial or not. Or, you can word it different ways. Like if we were to get together to try products, would you rather have a glamour makeover or a charcoal mask experience? You could word it like that. And then what I like to do is say something like, gosh, what does this one say? Register here for a personal beauty experience plus free gift certificate. Yeah, I word it kind of like where it's, they might not think it's obvious that everyone's a winner, but where I don't feel like I'm being deceptive. That's very important to me. I just don't want anybody to ever think that we're trying to pull the wool over their eyes or I don't want them to feel like they were made a fool of, like, oh geez, I thought I won something, but it turns out everybody won that. So I word it like, put your name here if you want this, I'll be in touch. You're going to get it. I have given away bigger things. So where I get my hair done, I said, if I get like a $50 gift certificate from you, can I leave this here for a few weeks? And so my thought was, the big prize would be a $50 gift certificate to the salon with, of course, a facial and a makeover. And then everybody else that registered would be offered the facial and makeover. So I put that in there somehow. So there are so many ways that you can do it, but do you see how you can, kind of pre-qualify people then, because they are putting right on there, oh yeah, I want to do that. People that don't want to do it aren't going to fill it out. People that want to do it are filling it out. If they got a consultant, you don't, you throw their name in the trash. So I loved that way. And I suppose for some people it might be hard to, contact a stranger, but now that we can text, shoot, it's easy peasy. And you can use a script, Mary Kay scripts. You can Google that. There are ways that you can word things in your text so that you don't sound like a weirdo and so that they are more likely to say yes, So, and we can talk more about that. We can maybe have a whole training on how to do facial boxes, what to say, that kind of thing. But facial boxes were a lifesaver for me. So the places that I've left them, dry cleaners, nail salons, hair salons, bagel shops, coffee shops, pretty much any place that is locally owned. There was a boutique. I asked if I could leave it there. They said yes. That was so cool. And if you know somebody that owns a store, ask them if you can leave it there. Typically, if it's a small privately owned place, they're more likely to say yes. But, you can ask anybody. So that is a great, great, great way to start getting beyond friends and family. All right. Another one, let's see, looking for my props, is when you can do, okay, so there are like arts and crafts festivals and shows and stuff like that. Sometimes it has to be a handmade craft. If it's called a vendor show, if it's called like a craft and vendor show, then it can be a direct sales business. So if you think about it, I'm sure you've been to these kinds of things. So there'll be like a table that has Tupperware and a table that has Pampered Chef, but then there's also tables that have, homemade stuff. So usually it costs money to belong to that or to participate in that. Sometimes they provide a table. Sometimes you have to bring your own table. So those are all questions that you need to ask. Here's the thing. You cannot set up a Mary Kay store at a place like that. So you couldn't bring like a couple of boxes of product, put it out on a card table and just sell. Why? Because anybody's customer would then go to you and get her refill on whatever she needs because it's so convenient. But then you are basically stealing that sale, from that other consultant, and we don't do that. So when we do a booth, when we do a vendor show, a craft show, we do it solely to obtain names, to obtain leads. So it's really the same concept as the, what did I just call this? Facial box. Because I'm thinking fishbowl now. So anyway, so like when I do a table, I will set up, I set it up really pretty. I'll have like a light pink tablecloth. I'll turn boxes upside down and then put like maybe some tulle on top of the box so you can't see the box, and then have products displayed so that there's, it's displayed at different levels. And then I will usually have in a frame something like, there's going to be a guessing game, how many products are in this bowl. That was one that we did recently. If you guess correctly, you get a satin hand set. And then what we were doing, I actually did this with friends. What we were doing is we had like the satin hands with us. So as people were walking by, we could even say, oh, hey, we're giving away a satin hands. And if they showed any interest at all, we could even say, would you like to have a treatment right now? And do it right there on the spot, which was kind of fun. But the idea there, again, is that you're pre-qualifying because they're going to fill out some kind of form. And so they're going to give their guess. But more importantly, have you ever tried Mary Kay? Who's your consultant? Blah, 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 blah. Are you interested in trying, Mary Kay? And so right there, you are either going to book them or you're not. And I can't tell you how much I love those two ways. Because when I'm calling somebody that I know wants to get together with me, and I know that I can offer something, like I usually give them a little something, I give them a discount or give them a little freebie or something. So I'm excited to make the call, like, hey, this is Michelle Fox with Mary Kay, and we saw each other at that event in Hackley Park last week, and I'm just calling real quick because you were interested in the charcoal mask facial, and I was hoping that we could book that because I can't wait to give you that mask at 25% off, whatever. So, it's important that you kind of think through what you want to say before you get on the phone and start talking. I used to I didn't like to use other people's scripts, to be perfectly honest. I would write out my own script, like what felt natural to me to say, but I would read it when I was on the phone because I do get phone anxiety. So, but now again, like with texting, I hardly ever talk on the phone. I text it all, right? Sometimes people don't pay attention because, it's a weird number. So you have to right away identify, like say something like you won, start the, start the sentence with something that's going to catch their attention. So, okay. So that's another way. And then you can Google that. Google fishbowl, Mary Kay fishbowl, Mary Kay facial box, Mary Kay vendor show, and you will just see scads of ideas. All right. Are you getting excited? All right. Then another one is called a referral game. So let's say you get somebody in front of you, whether you know her or not, and you can say, you know what, well, I'm going to start cleaning up. And while I do, I've got this game for you to play. And depending on where you end up when I'm done, that will determine your prize. Whatever. I make stuff up as I go along, okay? So this one is the Fabulous Friends referral sheet. And it's asking like for friends that she thinks would basically like to do what we just did. So if we did a microdermabrasion, who do you think would like to have a microdermabrasion experience? But what's really fun, like with this particular one, is that it challenges her to find people with a certain character trait. So like, who do you know that's ambitious, that's a connector? Who's the happiest person you know? Encouraging, smartest, funniest, stylish. And that's what makes it seem more like a game. And so then you could just have it like, maybe you've got another sheet that's numbered 1 through 20. And let's say she gets up to, number 5, and you're like, okay, you got up to number 5. The prize for number 5 is a mini oil-free eye makeup remover. And, you want to make good on it. You want them to feel like it was a game. They got a prize. And then you've got names. You've got names and numbers. Okay. Every person you know knows people you don't know. So this is called the Fabulous game, and there are lots of incarnations of it. Michelle Cunningham was actually the person that started it, and so if you put in Mary Kay Fabulous game, you will see lots of different ways to do that. But I like the ones where it gives you like categories. I just think that's fun. It feels more like a game. On the profile cards that you got in your starter kit, where they put their personal information on the front, if you flip that, on the back, there's a place for them to put names and numbers of friends, so you could use that if you wanted to. Don't ever forget that every person you know can help you promote your business, either by supporting you on Facebook, giving you referrals, booking a party, handing out catalogs at work. Okay, it's more than just asking them to buy something, right? All right. And then I'm going to show you one last thing, and then I'm going to chat about why I have not mentioned Facebook yet. Oh, I think I have it right, y'all. Okay. Something that oftentimes Kelly or I will give you when you're brand new, and there's a few different versions of this as well, but there's something like 100 ways to work your business. And it just is a ton of ideas of where you can leave your business card or your catalog, or what kind of people that you can contact, like or different ideas. So I just saw one that's like, build a before and after model portfolio. If you love glamour and you're familiar with glamour, women love to be models. That is one of the easiest ways to book people, is to just say, hey, I'm doing a before and after portfolio, and I've got these 4 looks, and I wondered which look, would you like to try? Women love to do that. Okay. Let's see. Contact local churches about youth groups. That would be like where you could maybe talk to young girls about the importance of taking care of their skin. Make sure that you go to motivational seminars and network with other people. Birthday leads, like find out whose birthday it is on Facebook. Make sure that you're wishing them happy birthday. Even offer them a birthday discount. There's just all kinds of just simple ideas you can go through, and even highlight the ones that feel comfortable to you, so that you can start, you have something to start with. It seems to me like when I didn't have that one when I started out, but whichever one I had, was things like, ask realtors if they would like you to put together, a goodie bag for them to give, new homeowners. What a fun thing is that? You put together like a little something with like a hand cream or, whatever, and say, hey, can I drop these off? I've got 10 welcome packets for, welcome to the neighborhood. So just fun stuff to think about. So are you getting any ideas? If you are getting anything, let me know. But truly, I think it's really important for you to pick something. Like, it's one thing to hear ideas and to get inspired and to think, oh, wow, there are more ways than one to do this. but you need to act on it. So I would highly suggest that whichever one got your heart racing the most, that you say, this is the one I'm going to do, and you work on that. And I'd love it if you would comment on which one that is and continue to come back and let us know, how did that go? Do you have questions? Did you get stuck on something? And we as a group can encourage each other and brainstorm and do this thing together. Why have I not talked about the Facebook groups or anything like that? Here's why. I was thinking about, I got such a good analogy. I hope you guys think it's as good as I do. I've always gone to like fairly small churches, and it seemed like at every church, there would be a handful of people that volunteered to do whatever, to be an usher, to clean up afterward, to make coffee, whatever. And that group of people eventually would burn out because anything that needed to be done by that little group of people. A few years back, joined a church that is growing constantly. And so there is a constant influx of new people, and they're enthused and they want to help. And so nobody's ever begging like for volunteers, because it seems like there is a constant influx of new volunteers, people that are enthusiastic and want to help. And so even though, like I may have been helping for a while, and I might need to take a little break or take some time off, because I'm pooped, I need some time off. But then I come back and I feel refreshed because there's even more people and there's new ideas and it's fresh. And why? Like, why is that different? Like, why is this church able to do that when other churches, weren't? What other churches just had this little piddly group, and, it was so taxing to be the one that had to do everything. And the difference is that the church I'm in right now is constantly growing. It's constantly bringing people in. And so similarly, when you have a group of customers, if that group is static, meaning that they're not expanding, they're not changing, and you are constantly asking them to buy or book, they are starting to feel worn out by that, because they are aware that they're part of a smallish group, and they may even be aware if they are like one of your best customers, and they might feel kind of like an obligation, like, oh gosh, but I just bought, now she's in a contest and she wants somebody to buy something again. But if there's like a constant like influx of people in your group, there's just a different vibe. It's like, oh my gosh, look at all the people around here. Oh, look what's going on. It's so active. It's people everywhere. Like, and then it doesn't feel like the spotlight is on me. Like I'm the only one that has to buy or book. It's kind of like, well, I want my turn. I want to buy. Hey, what about me? I want to book a party. It's just a different feeling. So when we get people in our Facebook group, our VIP group, that is not like the end. Like it's not like we, get these people, stick them in a group, and then forever and ever, we're just going to ask these people to buy stuff. But what we want to do is we want to get product on their faces. We want to be out and about in real life. If we can't do it face to face, we can still do it through the mail, or through Zoom or whatever. But you want to have real interactions with people where they're experiencing the product. They are learning to know, like, and trust you. They are falling in love with the company. They become a customer. You put them in your Facebook group. Within the group, you're giving them fun tips, prizes, birthday discounts, sneak peeks. You let them know about products that are coming out before anybody else knows. There's a sense of privilege in there, and it's growing. And every time you add somebody, you welcome them, so they're aware that it's growing. And then you're out putting more people in, and more people in, and more people in. And this group then has a new energy. It has a new It has a totally new vibe. And I think because of COVID, we've kind of relied on, that core group, like, come on, people, I need you to buy something. And so we need to shift our thinking, and we need to start, getting out there and finding the people that want what we have. And sometimes they don't even know that they want what we have because they don't understand how great our products are. So that's why we need to use something like, hey, can you help me? I've got this goal of 30 faces in 30 days. Or, use a fishbowl, or, pay to be part of a vendor show, which, by the way, I might pay $30. I think the most I've ever paid is $50. I would not pay a couple hundred, okay? Because you don't make any money that day. All right, you just get names, so just keep that in mind. So anyway, it's time to focus on making an effort to obtain new people, to make sure that they're trying the product and that you are providing the best possible customer service. And then they go into your VIP group, and then that group continues to grow and have energy. And eventually, you'll start having people in the group purchasing and booking and bringing people into the group. But you can't rely on that right now, okay? Right now, you're building. Right now, you are out finding the people that need what you have to offer, okay? So decide how you want to, which one you want to focus on. I do all at the same time, honestly. I have always said, I've got several irons in the fire. But, for those of you starting out, I would say pick one. Pick the way that you want to start obtaining new leads. Focus on that, perfect that, and see what happens, okay? Ask me questions. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. And then we're going to start talking about, okay, so now I've got these people, and then what do I do? So I'm going to have training every week for you to come back and check out on Tuesdays. And I'm just going to take you step by step. We need to get the people. We need to get the product on their face. We need to tell them about the company. We need to book some parties. We need to talk to people about the opportunity. I'm going to teach you step by step how this is done. And more than anything, I want to see you succeed. I really and truly do. So let me know when you watch, and let me know what you've learned and what you are going to try. Okay? That would really bless me a lot. And I know you can do it. I 100% know you can do this. All right? So, shoot, I was going to show you one thing. I'm all ready to wrap up because I know it's been a long, long time, but I got to show you one more thing. Okay, so let's say that you want to hear from somebody other than me. You can go to Mary Kay in Touch. I'm going to show you. So Mary Kay in Touch, under education, this is all great. Like, this is how to do a party. Classes is another word for party, team building. But MK University is all the basics, and that's what I'm talking about. It's just basics. So step 3, MK University, step 3, you go in order. How to find customers and hostesses. So Mary Kay's got your back. Like, pretty much anything that you want to know, Mary Kay is more than able to teach you. It's in there, all right? Don't forget all the resources that you have, and be proactive. You've got YouTube, you've got Mary Kay in Touch, you've got our Facebook, team page, you've got me. Make sure that you are utilizing those resources and continue to grow, continue to challenge yourself. Make a decision to move your business forward every single day, even if it's just one thing. Okay? All right. Now I'm done. All right. See you next week. Bye. Thanks for watching. And if you would like more information about being part of Mary Kay and our sisterhood, I would love to talk to you. As a matter of fact, I would love to have you on my team. So contact me and we will chat. Thanks again. And remember, like this video and hit the button so you are subscribed and you don't miss a thing. I'm coming back next week with more great tips. Bye.